Are you facing income loss in a hurry? There are some big changes happening to SNAP recipients coming up. Let's talk about this and other stuff. Back in a minute. Hey, good morning. Good morning. This is Champ New York City. I love helping people keep some more of their own hard earned money. How's everybody doing today? This is a subject. It's like not my favorite one to talk about, but I do think it is important to talk about. And it's sudden income loss, whether it's from a layoff, totally unexpected. You wake up feeling like roses and peaches. You go to work, you find a pink slip on your desk. That could happen to anybody. I don't care if you're the best worker in the whole world. It could happen to anyone or someone, for example, that let's say is on a SNAP, they receive SNAP supplementary nutrition program. That program is officially facing a $95. They were given that emergency extra bonus money during, those other times for the last few years, and that is coming to a close. So therefore, those folks are facing a $95 spending money for groceries a month is now going to be less. Okay, so literally, this is probably the final month for many people that were receiving it, and for them, March is going to be a bit more challenging. So I sat down. I said, well, how can I help folks face, a sudden income loss? Number one, I went through that because I was laid off a few years back. This was a long story, has its own video. I could go over it. Let's just say that I worked in a medical facility and the whole department got cut. No one did anything wrong or it's just that, let's just say that at that time, for whatever the reason, the management had an issue, but not the regular, administrative workers, not the secretaries, not the receptionists, not the, people did billing. No one did any, but that department got laid off. And it happened on Valentine's Day, of all days, in 1997. So imagine going to work thinking everything's hunky dory. And then all of a sudden, people are getting called in one by one later on in the afternoon to human resources. And everybody came back with a funny face. No one said a word. And people looked shocked and sullen and very sad because they didn't say a word, but we all looked at each other, and that was that. And that was that. 2 weeks notice. Got a 2 weeks notice, just like that. Now, I'm not saying this to bring anyone down or anything like that, but sudden income loss can happen to the best of workers. Just saying, just saying. So the moral of the story, as usual, and it might get tiring, it might get repetitive, but it's worth repeating, is to always be prepared. I don't know. Looking back in 97, I don't know what I would have done if I didn't have a number of months ready for all my expenses. I believe it was 6. And for back then, for a person at my age bracket at that time, that was pretty darn good. But there were a lot of people who were older than me that were not ready. And I remember we were lamenting on the phone, like, how could they do this to us? Plus, the usual. It was just awful, just an awful experience. But it was buffered in my case because I was buffered in my case. And this is something this is why I have this channel. I have this channel to help people to know, no matter who you are, no matter what your age, it's never too late to begin saving. If anybody ever told you, oh, you're too old to save, don't listen to that nonsense. That's hogwash. Throw it out. You keep saving. And if you find yourself that you're starting off, with I always believe in putting on the training wheels before jumping on the bicycle. Now, some people jump right on the bicycle. I believe in training wheels. So that's why I give these like training wheels, if you will, challenges in savings. And I have many, many videos on that. But this morning, I want to take an extra minute to focus on specific things to do if you are facing sudden income loss. Okay. Number one, gather up all the funds that you have. Look around, whatever it is, assess literally where you're at, in case you didn't do that already, in case you don't know. Assess all of your expenses, monthly expenses, versus your what you do have, okay? And then fill in the gaps of what you don't have by bringing in an extra income. Let's say, look right away, for those side hustles. Thankfully, today, here's where there is an advantage. Okay. Thankfully, today, there are way more opportunities for side hustles and a lot of things you can do literally from the same phone or tablet or computer that you are listening to my message. And I am so grateful that I had the capability to create this kind of message. Now, let's talk about meals specifically. Okay, so this is where hopefully the stockpile that hopefully you guys have been building, ladies and gentlemen, have been building all this time. And if you have not, it is still not too late. Believe it or not, it's still not too late to get started. Get started with a couple of cans. I'm always emphasizing that you have to begin with something. Now, when it comes to meals and planning meals, this is where we have to sort of kind of like stop getting we have to get unused to certain habits that maybe we took for granted during the times when that more steady income was coming. Just have to readjust it. Instead of going out 5 times a month, consider going out once a month. Because remember, now those times are leaner. All right. Are there purchases that you make, like, for example, unit price purchases that are ridiculously higher, but if you can figure out the math, sit down and do the math. I had an interesting situation just this very last night. And, I know, notice how silly, how much bathroom tissue that I use per week. And that's 2 rolls of a good quality bathroom tissue. And for the fun of it, I said, well, how much would about a 3-month supply go for? Okay. And in this case, it turned out to be 4-month supply. So I indicated the word cheap in the question. I said cheap bathroom tissue, but of course I didn't mean cheap quality. I meant inexpensive. Okay, I want to get more bang for my buck. Well, as it turned out, my absolutely favorite national brand, they were running a sale on that site with letter A, 32 rolls for $25 and change. That was a steal. And free shipping. Hello. And because I am a member of their free shipping and they're overnighting it. Okay. So I ordered it on Tuesday night. I'm pre-recording this for the, following day. I ordered it Tuesday night. It's expected to get here today. $25 and change, 32 rolls. I use 2 rolls a week. Let's do the math here. 16 weeks of bathroom tissue. So if you could find ways of things that you're going to use, get the less price and still great quality, great. This allows more money in your pocket. Now, the laundry. I know this sounds, oh no, laundry again. This is good. This is a good chat about laundry, okay? Do the math. How much money do you spend a month on your laundry? Is there anything you could do to take down the price of laundry? Now, I'm really specifying this specifically for those that recently are getting that $95 extra allotment that you guys were getting. Now that that's cut, you have to figure out a way to handle that missing piece of the puzzle because the prices haven't gone down markedly with food yet. I hope it goes down a little more. It's starting to change slightly. This is good on a positive note. I'm glad about that. And I know you are too. But we need for it to come down even a little bit more. But we'll always, no matter what we do, see, here's my thing with frugality. No matter what we do as frugal people, the same methodology applies, whether it's inflation, whether it's recession, whether it's normal times, whatever that means. If you apply the same common sense methods that so many of us in the frugal community try to represent and try to present, either it's day in, day out, week in, week out, or month in, month out, we try our very best to convey the messages. Not other than this time that we're in right now, are we so spoiled to have this information right here. We have it right here and we have it right now. There really is no excuse. It's a matter of math. It's a matter of math. Now, when it comes to meal planning during leaner times, forget about single serve meals. That's out the window. Throw that method out the window unless you create your own single serve meals with your own containers from leftover bulk made meals. Make foods in bulk. This is the time you do your soups and your stews. It's still a little chilly out. We still got some chilly, frosty days in March, at least in my region anyway. And you could still get away with that. So make aheads are great. Instead of having like an elaborate hamburger, some people make hamburger and they put a fried egg on top and they put a potato on it. They make this like 10-gallon sandwich. Not necessary. It's not necessary. Make your sandwich. Maybe you can just make less ground beef hamburger and just fry one egg over it if that's what you enjoy. It doesn't have to be like 75 other ingredients on top. Find ways to cut out, cut down, or cut around. Okay, I'm not saying eliminate food. I'm not saying eliminate meals. You're never going to hear me say just eat one meal a day. I mean, that's your choice. You do whatever you want. But I'm not a medical expert. However, I have read reports that it's better to keep your blood sugar stabilized. But that's just, an opinion. That's it. You got to do your own homework. You got to look this up. I don't give any advice. I only give opinions. And by the way, every single show is my opinion. And for your entertainment purpose too. I am an edutainer. There you go. So, but honestly, in my opinion, these are great ways. You know what? Everyone helps each other out. Could somebody indicate some really great low cost, low ingredient recipes in the comment section below? And that's another method. There are so many videos that have simple, lower ingredient recipes. So we're doing everything we can. Try to find ways to make up that $100 a month. Increase your income with a side hustle. You could do childcare. You could do babysitting. You could do that. You could consider it. You could consider it. You could consider tutoring. You could consider it. What are you good at? You could start a class. But I do know that some people are going to be facing even more challenging times in the next few weeks. So wishing everybody who's listening to this, if you were recently laid off, do know that it's not a forever place. And anyone listening to this that's having a tough time with money, do know there's so many videos out there and this is not your forever place. Always remember, when you're going through that challenge, say to yourself, this is not my forever place financially. And eliminate the words, I can't afford. No, swap it out with, I can't afford this thing when right now. That doesn't mean forever and ever and ever. There you go. But I do ask every single one of you to take your little finger and go like this. If you enjoy content such as this, please let me know in the comment section below. Have an amazing, fantastic day. Take good care of yourself and each other.